In this video, let's look at global layoff waves that have started in crypto but are making their way into the tech sector and the broader global economy. I'm Corey, and on this channel I help you decode technology and innovation to grow your wealth on the journey to financial independence. In this video, let's look at the economic changes going on in the world today that may impact your financial independence plans, but at a minimum you need to be aware of. Let's first look at the slowing economy, as we can see in the US but also around the world. As the economy slows down, many big tech companies have warned their employees of corporate downsizing and layoffs. Ahead of Facebook's poor earnings report, several executives at the company sent memos to their teams warning of job cuts ahead. When I look at what is starting today, it reminds me of 2008 when I was just starting my professional career. 2007 was a boom year, and the language coming out of companies and recruiters was that everyone is a big family and bonuses were everywhere. If you fast forward to 2008, companies began to talk about making hard choices and people needing to pull their weight. Check out my video on 2008 if you want to know more about my perspective during that crazy period of time. Link in the show notes. Earlier in the year, as cryptocurrencies crashed in one of their largest dips in the last few years, Coinbase laid off nearly 20% of its employees. The company even went as far as rescinding job offers for new recruits who had not actually started to work yet. What comes next? Well, the company everyone loves or loves to hate, Tesla, laid off more than 200 employees after a few cryptic tweets from Elon Musk. According to TechCrunch, there have been more than 30,000 layoffs that have occurred since the beginning of this year alone. So if we look at employees that have chronicled their experiences for red flags, we can get some ideas of what folks have been going through at the individual level. So we take a look at a Tesla IT worker talks about red flags that they saw before being let go. The employee described the scene at Tesla's Fremont factory where on the day of layoffs last month, people wept as they exited the lobby. The company offered the worker an Uber voucher to get home. So we can see things have gotten brutal out there, at least to start, for some people. A Coinbase program manager said they've never experienced such lack of empathy. We've also got an employee at Coinbase describing what was his dream come true, but he was one of the 1,100 employees that the company laid off earlier in the year. In the weeks prior, many employees have asked if layoffs were imminent, but according to employees, management told them to keep chugging along as though things were normal. So keep your head on a swivel out there. So let me give you some of my final thoughts on this topic generally. I think that while everyone's going to be going through their own individual versions of struggle and battle, I think it's very important to keep a positive light. And what do I mean by that? In any individual dark time, there are always opportunities that arise and come from those negative experiences. And I think it's incumbent upon us as, human beings, as brothers, fathers, sisters, daughters, etc., to try to take the positive, even though we know things are going to be pretty negative out there. And that's one thing I think that we can control. So you can't control some fact patterns that might happen to you in your life, but you can control how you respond to them and the way in which you tackle those challenges that come your way. Join me on the path to decoding technology and innovation to grow your wealth on the journey to financial independence. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Until next time.